Hello everyone, it's me Velvet, and today I'm going to talk to you about an episode about, well, let's call it Sweet Home Alabama. Because I'm in the beginning of this YouTube video and I can't say the word. There has been a lot of it through the years of American Dad, but it's usually between Francine and Steve. This time I believe it technically isn't, but I'm still gonna count it because no DNA can be exchanged between them, so it doesn't count technically, but it is still father and son bonding, and it's pretty dang close. And by bonding, I don't mean playing catch. Well, I guess Stan will probably be the one catching in this situation. Our episode starts at the CIA. Looks like Stan and the guys are having a late night poker game. It looks like, well, sadly I can't say his name because YouTube probably won't get that it means name and not part of the male body. Let's call him Richard. You know the other name for Richard, it's that. Richard has finally won a game of poker. Well, at least he thinks he has. Deputy Director Bullet counters with a full house.
DJ, Michelle, Stephanie, Comet, and Uncle Jesse, full house!
I cannot believe he forgot Joey. This sends Richard into a rage. Before he can do any damage to the facility though, he's able to control his anger. As soon as we lose sight of Richard, a giant black man appears and starts to destroy the same machine Richard was going to destroy.
Race riots!
Geez, Stan, that escalated quickly. We learn that it's not some random intruder. We learn that it's Richard and he's controlling Black Richard. Like Avatar, they're doing Avatar.
Although Black Dick is huge and veiny.
While they're dealing with Black Richard, Stan's phone goes off and it pierces through the laughter, causing him to answer it. It's Francine and she is not happy that Stan is missing Steve's birthday again. He's missed pretty much every one of his birthdays.
Help, Black Dick, you're spewing foam.
Okay, the jokes are starting to get old. Nah, who am I kidding? I'm childish, it still gets a chuckle out of me. Stan shows up with a present for Steve. It's a giant pink novelty bunny, but Francine sees right through it and she knows that Stan just grabbed the first thing he saw in the CIA's evidence room. The pink rabbit even comes with prizes on the inside. Okay, wow, I don't remember that episode, but I kind of want to see an episode about that situation. We see throughout the years, Stan wasn't there for Steve. He wasn't at his birth. He wasn't there when Steve was trying to learn how to ride a bike. But this nice homeless person was there to help Steve learn how to ride his bike. Stan thinks of course he was there. He was probably the one filming everything. No, Stan wasn't even the one filming. It was Fernando, the family cinematographer.
I haven't been there for anything in Steve's life.
I get that Stan needs to work to keep a roof over their heads, but come on, he could have been there for at least one of Steve's birthdays. The next day, Stan tries to make up for being such an absent father by taking Steve to a ball game. But Steve doesn't care about that. He's at the age where he doesn't want to hang out with his father.
He doesn't want ball games, he just wants to ball dames.
There's a reason why Franny's my favorite character. Or maybe it's because she has a Princess Peach color scheme. And this takes us to our side story. There really isn't too much to the story, but it is kind of funny. Roger decides that he wants to be a limo chauffeur, and he's got a great deal on the limo. But who are we kidding? This is Roger. He stole it, and Klaus wants to go along for a ride. While at school, Snot gives Steve his birthday present. It's 2 tickets to the Ice Capades. As this is going on, a red-headed schoolgirl shoots her shot at Steve and lets him know that she's free and wants to go to the Ice Capades with him.
Oh, great. You can have these, because I don't want to go. Hey.
Oh, come on, Steve. I get it. We're all oblivious at that age. Hell, I'm still oblivious at this age. But I think I would have caught this one at least. Before the school day can continue on as normal, a new girl has shown up at school, and she sits right next to Steve.
You want to go out?
What?
Damn, that was straightforward. There's really no way for him to misinterpret that one. Steve has to check his very busy schedule. Christ, Steve, every day you're going to rip the bloody thing off.
I don't believe it. This is too good to be real.
Yeah, that was almost too easy.
Of course this is real.
And this is really happening. Because this is real. Really, really real.
Yup, that's Stan controlling Phyllis. That's the name of the avatar who asked Steve out. Stan, Steve's father, asked Steve out on a date through the avatar. Yeah, this episode's pretty trippy.
This is serious. My son wants nothing to do with me, and the only way to get close to him is to be an incredibly stacked teenage girl.
Sure, that makes no sense, but okay, let's go with it. After lecturing Stan about using the suit, we get to see what Bullock has been up to.
Another feeding? My, you have quite the appetite.
Okay, how does this work? Did she have a child and then did Bullock have the CIA kidnap the child and replace the child with the robot child? Or did he mind control her and put the child in her mind to think she has a kid? I don't know how that one works. And I hope if they do have a living child somewhere that it's safe at the CIA, because I don't think the avatars can grow. So eventually the child is going to grow and Bullock can't control, well, he can't be the child forever. He has his own life to deal with too. So are they eventually going to swap out the kids when he's done doing his thing? But enough about what Bullock has been doing. We switch over to Roger in the side story, and he gets a bunch of first customers. It's a giant group of rowdy frat boys.
Is that your bottom? Oh, you put it right next to my face. That's so funny. Oh, you farted too.
Well, that's gross, and probably pink eye, if Roger can get pink eye. Roger has been driving around the same guys all night. And get this. This is what he charges them for driving them the whole night. He only charges them like $20, which is a really good deal. So I understand why, what Roger does next after he stiffs them his $20. He goes on a rampage and immediately takes out the first bro. Back to the main story, Stan and Steve are on their first date. These things can eat? They don't jam up their internal workings of the machine if they eat? Can Stan taste it? I know he can feel everything. Later on in the episode, you'll see. And after their date, Steve tries to go in for a kiss. Thankfully, Stan does not kiss Steve, but he kind of screws himself over and puts himself in the friend zone. Stan, to keep up appearances, even skips away. He has the avatar head back to the CIA, and we get to see how fast and how strong these things are. Seriously, super speed, super strength? It's durable and agile, what makes it all the more funnier that Stan is just using this to go on a date with his son so he can be there for his son's biggest moment. Francine calls Stan to chew him out because he wasn't there for Steve's first date. But we all know Stan was there. He definitely was there. And he hangs up on Francine.
Hello?
Bitch, did you just hang up on...
Yeah, she's my favorite for a reason. The next day at school, Steve is bummed out because he has some girl stuff that he needs to figure out. Snot gives Steve some sage advice about women.
Let me tell you what I know about women, Steve. If you buy a woman's shoe in your size, it will not fit you.
Good to know. Personally, mine's are custom made. Chelsea, that's the name of the redhead from earlier. After hearing that Steve and Phyllis is the name of Stan's avatar. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that. But after hearing that Steve and Phyllis aren't dating anymore, she tries to shoot her shot again, and I have to give the girl credit for taking another shot at it. She even whips out the Orcish. I'm just saying, if a chick came up to me and started speaking Orcish, I would probably have to marry her.
Yeah? Who?
She turns up her charm, and this works on Steve.
There's a lot about me you don't know.
Let's see what Roger's up to. We cut back to the funeral that's already proceeding. It's a funeral for the first bro that Roger took out, and the other bros are the ones carrying the casket. Roger shows up out of nowhere and is able to take out the two remaining bros in one shot. Over dinner, Steve gleefully tells Stan and Francine that he's going on a date with someone. He even tells them that he's going to ask her out to homecoming.
Homecoming? Oh, Steve!
Stan gets a rude awakening that it's not going to be him. Well, him as Phyllis anyway. It's going to be Chelsea. Steve gives him the reason why he's not choosing Phyllis to go to the homecoming with, and that is because Phyllis wants to just be friends by judging from her actions. Honestly, good on Steve for not hounding her. The next day at school, Steve makes his move to ask Chelsea out. Stan, as Phyllis, also shows up too. Steve lets Phyllis know that he doesn't think it's going to work out and lets her down easy. But Stan does not take that well.
Don't say that! Why are you—
Saying that.
Out of options, Stan blurts this out.
If you go to the dance with me, I'll have sex with you.
Okay!
Causing poor Chelsea to give up and sulk away. You know what? At least he's being safe. Stan gets ready to go to the homecoming dance, as Steve, his son's date, which this is such a crazy episode. Who thought of this? As he's getting ready, he paints us this vivid picture of what's going to happen.
Except I will be locked in eye contact with my son while he plows my cyber soil.
That's not a sentence I thought I'd ever hear in my life. Well, we all know Stan's going to be there, but Francine doesn't. And she sees this as him missing another one of Steve's important life moments. And she heads down to the CIA to tell him what's what. The two remaining bros have decided to go bowling. Why would you do that? You have a demon limousine hunting you down. You've seen it take out your friends and you still go outside and you still leave the house. I wouldn't. One of the bros goes to use the bathroom. I love this. How did he get the car in the bathroom? How do you keep it silent before the guy can even see the wheels? He thinks the coast is clear.
Oh, thank God.
Nope. Roger waits for him to drop his guard and he meets his end. I had to cut it off early. You know how YouTube is when it comes to blood. Back at the dance, Stan and Steve are dancing and things are fine until Stan shows off that he has, well, a talent for dancing. Sorry, I couldn't use the original audio. It plays a copywritten song. You know, it's that one that goes, 369, damn you're fine. Let me sock it to you one more time, get low, get low, get low, that one. I hope that doesn't get me copywritten. But this is the most memorable part of the episode for me. This is the part I remembered even though I've forgotten most of this episode. But I did not forget Stan breaking it down like this. Time has run out for Stan. Steve wants some privacy with his date. It looks like Stan is really going to go through with it. He's going to Sweet Home Alabama it. Well, I guess I can say it now, right? I'm deep enough in the episode. It's incest. They're doing incest. Technically not, because DNA doesn't get exchanged, but I mean, this counts, right? Francine finally makes it to the CIA, but she can't get through to Stan because he's an impenetrable glass. Bullock gets her caught up to speed on everything that has been going on, and basically recaps the whole entire Avatar movie tour. Francine decides if she can't get to Stan here, she'll go to the dance and stop him. But how can she? These avatars have super strength, super speed, and super durability. Francine sees something in the corner that just might help her even the odds.
Let's make a baby. Yeah, sexy talk.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm totally raring to go after that. See, even Stan's ready to go. Steve, nervous, goes to the bathroom and tries to psych himself up for what's about to happen. And he really psychs himself up a little too much.
Oh God! I just pictured it again! Oh.
While Steve's having a moment in the bathroom, Francine finally makes it to the dance to stop this craziness from happening, and she delivers this fantastic line.
Get away from him, you bitch!
The fight is on. Stan and Francine go crashing through the wall, while Stan is delivering a flurry of blows to the glass that protects Francine inside the mech. Stan delivers a powerful kick to the mech, causing it to lose balance. But Francine, retaliates by wrapping a slide around Stan and sends him flying into the tetherball pole. Stan tells Francine that she won't stand in his way and that he's finally going to be there for Steve, and he uses the tetherball that's tied to a rope to somehow wrangle the mech.
He was gonna dump me for that nerd, and I just won't lose him again.
This mech, keep in mind, is able to take a dropkick from a powerful avatar, and Stan is able to wrap the mech up and topple it without the string snapping or the pole bending or anything like that. This is a tetherball pole. What are they making these things out of? Just before Stan is able to jump away and to go back to Steve, Francine grabs him by the leg, and we hear this doozy.
Must get plowed by sun.
Seriously, what the hell is this episode? Francine is finally able to talk some sense into Stan. Maybe.
I know you want to be closer to Steve, but all you can do is be there for him.
With that, Stan finally comes back to his senses. Stan lets Steve down gently and tells him that there's a homely, kinky-haired beauty out there for him.
Snot wants to dance with me?
Oh yeah, there's this whole thing with Snot and Steve too. He even gets Snot pregnant in one of the different dimensions. Maybe I'll take a look at that episode later.
Your dad, he loves you.
Stan slips up, and as Phyllis tells Steve that his dad loves him, and that makes Steve wonder if that's where his dad has been this whole time, with Phyllis. Steve, being the cheeky little shit that he is, tells Phyllis that she can do better. A lot better.
Okay, good. Because you could do better. A lot better.
I get a chuckle out of Stan's rebuttal to Steve here.
You, Steve.
And that's the meat of the main plot done. Let's go back to the B plot, shall we? The final bro is taking a plane trip somewhere, which he should be safe in the sky from a limo, right? But nope, no he's not. And Roger is able to get the final one, and the entire plane of people. On the bright side, that was the final one, so that must mean his bloodlust is over.
Roger!
Oh, no, he's still very much bloodlusting.
Emailing.
Stan is finally there for his son. He's able to console him over Phyllis and Chelsea. And you know what? I don't blame Chelsea. You've been rejected, what, twice? Good for her for turning him down. I wouldn't want to be his second pick either.
I was there to help him through this terrible moment in his life.
But you caused that terrible moment.
Yep. Everything worked out for everybody in the end.
I mean, yeah, kind of. I guess as long as he didn't get his cyber soil plowed by his son, everything worked out. Sort of.
Is this your smallest condom? Nothing tinier? Would they shrink if I put them in the dryer?
I don't know, man.
I do not find this joke relatable. Hey, Velvet here. Thank you so much for making it to the end. Can you please like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help me and the channel out. And what did you think of the episode? This was one of the more crazier ones, I think, from what I can remember. Surprisingly enough, it's usually not Stan and Steve. Like I said in the beginning, it's usually Francine and Steve. There's crazier ones with her and him, and that has yeah, DNA can be exchanged in that episode. I thought it'd be easier to cover one of the Stan ones because there's not a ton of them where it deals with him and Sweet Home Alabama stuff than the numerous Francine ones. There's quite a bit of those. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions for, I don't know, anything, let me know in the comments. Velvet out.